Lillian, I've been wanting to catch up with you for quite some time. I tell you, we were talking offline before I pressed the record button here, but the last 2 years have really been transformational, haven't they?
Absolutely.
Your story is quite amazing. I remember talking to you in 2020 when things were just going bonkers, and you made some interesting pivots there. How did you adjust?
Well, let me preface what I'm going to say in that we have an amazing team.
That helps.
Our team, it does help, and our team is made up of artists and businessmen and art advocates. And when that dark time came, and we were one of the first invitationals or events, one of our board members said, can't we reimagine the way we can do this? And that word became the launching pad for what we did.
It's amazing what one word will do. But that was a good one, because you had to rethink, okay, what are we going to do? How do we do this without just canceling everything? Which a lot of events, that's exactly what they did. They just canceled. It was just done. But you didn't cancel.
Well, I think the spirit was, in time, was very scary. There were a lot of unknowns about everything in one's life. And we just tried to bring some structure and some hope. The word hope sometimes is not quite as powerful as we know that it can be. And so we gave hope to our artists. We promised them yes, and we would, and then we got offline and said, okay, guys, we got to deliver. What are we going to do? And we just armed ourselves with the right skill sets of people that had the same commitment, but it was also very good for us, because it kept us focused on the beautiful impact of art in that creative process, because that's what it is for us, is to produce a beautiful exhibition, whether digitally or in person, to showcase the art and the creator.
I think one of the things that came out of that too, just as an observer seeing, and I had the privilege of talking to a few of the artists that were part of the invitational there, but just seeing where they were able to create wherever they were. They didn't necessarily, it's nice if they could come and visit us in Georgia. We want them here in Georgia.
The artwork was phenomenal.
It was beautiful.
And some of them said, I didn't leave my backyard. And you would have never known it. And, in the rules, we kind of threw away all the rules that year so they could paint from photographs or family vacations. So they did. And the art was actually phenomenal. And it was amazing how many of the works that were submitted, and it also in the competition, were informed by the whole pandemic and the mood and the unknown. And there were some beautiful, beautiful figurative paintings with the light that really spoke to just where we were and where the world was. It was a very, very powerful exhibition that year.
So you and your team were affected, the artists were affected, and they adapted just as you did. How did the collectors adapt? What kind of response did you get from the collectors?
We were really nervous.
I can imagine.
And we built this incredible gallery online, sight unseen, artist unknown. We launched and we waited. And about 4 days in, I woke up that morning and checked like I usually do. And I had an email from someone that said, my wife wants painting X. and the link is not working. I need to buy that painting for my wife. And so we fixed it and a painting sold. Artist unknown, painting unseen, and we knew we could make it.
That is phenomenal. And I want to clarify now, the way that sounded, have you seen that scam that goes around where a person says, I saw my wife looking on the computer, and that's not what this was. This was real.
This was real. This is real.
So you had a response within 4 days. Now, I want to fast forward to 2022. We're still in the midst of a pandemic. We're in a world that's very unsettled right now, but yet you still have plans for the Olmsted Plein Air Invitational event, but you also have the Olmsted Gallery. I want to talk about both of those, but let's talk about the Invitational. So you have dates established for that, and who are some of the artists that are going to be in that Invitational?
Well, we're actually really excited because in this year's Invitational, about half of our artists are new to this event.
That's awesome.
Or have not been here in a long time. So we're real excited to introduce several new artists. We also are really excited that we've got several Georgia artists. The skill of our artists in Georgia on all levels has just been incredible. The plein air movement is alive and on fire in Georgia. It's very, very exciting and very rewarding. So let's see some folks that you may not know. Carla Bosch.
Yeah, Carla Bosch is a new name for me. I haven't heard as so. That's one of the things I enjoy about this process is I get to know. I love discovering new artists. It's just a lot of fun to see what they're doing. So Carla Bosch, and who else?
Mark Hellman, who's from San Diego, California.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We've never had Brene Brown here, and we're real excited. Brene's going to be with us this year, so she'll be a new face for Georgia.
Nice.
John Eastman.
Yeah.
Bill Farnsworth, which many people do know, but he's never been with us before. We're thrilled he's coming up to be with us.
Oh, I think everyone's going to enjoy Bill Farnsworth. I watched a demo in David Boyd's studio with Bill Farnsworth. That's where I met him. Just an amazing painter. Everybody's going to enjoy him. This
year we have Hippie Hammond, who is a Georgia girl, but she lives most of the year at her home in France. We're really excited about Hippie joining us. Another artist that is a Texas artist from Cedar Park, Texas, is Chong Wong, who was raised and born in Beijing, China. His style is just gorgeous, from landscape to incredibly realism still lifes. His work is just beautiful, and he's going to bring a whole new style to what we've ever had here before.
Well, he's experimented greatly with color and his mastery of that and his experimentation. I just love following what he does. Nice choice, Lillian.
There's some really nice ones. Tammy Lane's new this year. Jill McGannon, who won Best in Show at Georgia Color this year, will be in Olmsted this year. We're really excited for Jill. Mark Shasha, Bob Upton, and Mary Vega, and Jeff Williams, all new faces for Georgia. And we're really thrilled to host them here.
Well, that's really exciting to hear. I look forward to seeing what they produce. And right. You mentioned, I forgot to mention, you mentioned Georgia Color. I forgot to mention that's something else that you and your team have organized, which happens in the fall of each year, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's hard to say that you're just a 1 week show. That's not what you are.
Well, and what we found out very quickly that a 1 week show in a metropolitan area like Atlanta cannot survive. There's too much going on every day. It's hard enough to have a voice the week before your event and the week during your event, much less for people to remember you and think about you all year long when you don't have a presence. And so establishing opportunities to have our brand out there and the opportunity to remind people of the caliber of artists that we are offering, both Georgians as well from all over the country, is important for us to do. So we're creatively always looking for new revenue channels to allow us to do that. It's hard to be sustainable in the world of art, we've learned.
Yeah, but people have been doing it. So
well, we've got some wonderful collectors. Yeah, we've been figured out. This is year number 8 and we're really excited to be here.
Isn't that amazing? Year number 8. I remember the first one. That was in 2015, right? 2015.
Yeah. It seems like yesterday, but it also seems like a long time. And we're very fortunate to 2 amazing artists that, both Jim Richards and Bill Davidson, and Nancy Frank, who all encouraged us to do something. They just felt like this was a gap in the art community here in Atlanta, and the time was right. And they were great encouragers and supporters.
Very nice. Now, the other thing I wanted to share with our audience is the gallery. So we talked about how Olmsted reimagined how you would present artists. You support artists. You really do a fine service for artists in a unique way. You have the plein air events, the Georgia Color, and then, but it's like I said before, it's not just a singular moment. You have a gallery now, which I'm really excited about. It's called Olmsted Gallery. Yeah, olmstedgallery.com. I'll put a link in the description below so that people can find it easily. But it's easy enough to find. Type in Olmsted Gallery and you're there. Beautiful website. It's a little different from the event. So tell me about this, Olmsted Gallery, and what it's all about, and who are the people behind it.
So, the heart of what we do is providing the experiential interaction that people can have. It doesn't matter whether you're a child or you're a collector or you just love art. Seeing that creation right before your eyes is magic every time it happens. And so we're all about that. But what we've been doing is watching the artists that we knew early and how they have elevated themselves and their artist skills. We have been looking at ways to sustain Olmsted Arts, our nonprofit, under which these things happen. And again, one of the blessings or the things that came out of the year of COVID, the pandemic, was we realized we had created a trust factor among our collectors, a trust factor among our artists, and the tools and the methodology to sell art online. Now, everybody's kind of doing it now. I mean, it's just the way our world is. But we do have a little secret sauce that we continue to refine.
What is this sriracha sauce, the secret sauce?
I'm sorry, we don't spill the beans.
Oh,
we share a lot.
I tried, team. I tried.
we share with a lot of people, and we think that's part of who we are. But the artists we knew best were the artists who came through Olmsted. And Atlanta's a little bit unusual in that we don't have a walkable art district, really. I mean, there are little pockets here and there, and the variety and the kind of art is usually is inclined to be where those little districts are. And what we felt and were told after we started doing a few of the Olmsted Plein Air Invitationals is that there's really not a gallery presence for fine representational art in Atlanta. It really.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know very many places at all. Yeah.
There might be some representational artists in some galleries, but there's not a lot of it. Nothing wrong with that. It just doesn't exist. So that combined with the fact that we're selling paintings to individuals well beyond the people who are here and come to our invitational, we said, should we, can we launch a virtual gallery? And what would the kind of art and the kind of artists would we need to differentiate ourselves from anything that has a physical gallery in Atlanta and or offer them something that Olmsted Plein Air Invitational could not offer them? So we looked at representational, figurative, abstract, and then we thought, who are the best people that would take our phone calls and we could give them a platform to sell fine art in such a way that it would benefit them and it would benefit our nonprofit. And so we quietly launched Olmsted Gallery this past fall. It has, I want to say 17 artists in it.
Yeah, it's quite a few. I'll mention some of the Alina Babic, Jill Beisch. I'm messing everybody's names up. Nancy Frank, Christine Lashley, Kathleen Hudson, Kim Lordier. Kim Lordier I just talked to today. I recorded a podcast episode with her. Man, and her art is it's gorgeous. It's amazing. It's
gorgeous. She's a pastel artist.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely phenomenal. We're pleased to have Bill Davidson and Cindy Barron, Patrick Saunders, some of the people that our community have come to know because of the things that we've been doing. And now we have them in this fine art gallery. So wonderful. We had created an experience on the website like no other. And we have an amazing designer on our team. And we built, straight up a website that we think does a lot of things for the collector to view them, as well as the artist's work to be showcased. And so we're counting on it. So if people have not visited Olmsted Gallery, we'd love for you to visit it. And to our artists, we do look for other artists, but we don't want any competition. We want every artist in the gallery to have a unique voice and expression. And that is what we're looking for in Olmsted Gallery.
So when you say not have competition, you're not talking about they can't be represented in other galleries or?
Oh, no. I mean, within Olmsted Galleries, let's just say someone is an amazing figurative artist.
Right.
That has a certain style. We would not have another amazing figurative artist with the same or similar style.
Gotcha.
It would have to be a very different interpretation of the figure.
Well, that's what I do notice when I look at the gallery. There is quite a diverse differences in styles here. I mean, one of the artists you have on here, which really fascinates me, is Chris Groves. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. You got to go check that out. And when I say that, I'm not saying that the others don't. I mean, they're all good. So,
well, and what's so neat
caught my eyes.
is his subject matter is representational, but his interpretation of the work that we're carrying of his is more abstract impressionism. It's really beautiful, really beautiful.
Well, Lillian, I really appreciate you taking the time to just give us a slight little preview of what's happening with Olmsted. I'm really looking forward to meeting more of the artists, seeing the artwork that comes out. And again, I guess the best place for them to go, one is olmstedgallery.com, correct? And then for the olmstedpleinair.com. So those are your two main websites. Did I miss anything?
Carl, I have another little tidbit that I might share real quick.
Well, go right ahead.
Well, we were incubated by a conservatory organization here in Atlanta, the Olmsted Linear Park Alliance. And for those of our audience that have heard of Frederick Law Olmsted Sr., who was the grandfather of Central Park, our nation's capital grounds, Asheville at Biltmore. I mean, the parks are all over the world and college campuses. Atlanta was his last project, and he did not live to see the linear park finished. It was finished by his the company and I think one of his sons. This would be his 200th birthday, and all of the conservatory organizations, the national parks that were designed by him, college campuses, they're all celebrating Olmsted 200. That's another website, Olmsted 200. And we are going to be working with our Olmsted Plein Air Invitational artists from all these 8 years. And they have been invited to paint from visits there on plein air, or from photographs when they were there, but to paint Olmsted projects across the country. And we're going to curate them in partnership with the National Olmsted Conservatory Organization. And we're going to do a beautiful virtual gallery of all of his projects, which include places that are just, some of God's most beautiful places in the world, and places in your own back park, whether you're in Baltimore or Louisville or Chicago, just beautiful places. So that's going to be a virtual gallery that we'll be distributing later this year. Oh, that's wonderful. And the Olmsted, if you've never been to it and you're visiting in Atlanta, it's a really unique park. It is a linear park, but it's beautiful. Well, Lillian, thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today. Thank you, Carl. And as always, I look forward to seeing you in person.
And we're getting a picture on the TV.